Hello everybody, my name is KingStix and today I'm going to be showing you the best builds and runes for Renekton jungle. I know what you're thinking, I'm just trying to get views and clickbait you, but Renekton jungle actually is viable. I'm currently practicing it, I'm starting to get it down fairly well. I've also done the research on the build and runes, which is why I want to share it with you. It's currently starting to pick up quite a bit of heat in higher elo, even up in Masters and Challengers. What makes Renekton jungle so strong is his clears are decent, his ganks are really strong. If you can land your stun, it's almost a guaranteed killed in the early game. He can 1v1 most enemy junglers, assuming that he has equal health to them or he's equally fed, and if Renekton is ahead of the enemy jungler, he'll pretty much just one-shot them. The biggest drawbacks to Renekton jungle is the fact that true late game he isn't that great, so pretty much past the 35-minute mark you'll start to see him fall off quite a bit, especially if the enemy team does have a really strong front line. If your team is already all AD, I would avoid picking Renekton and go for an AP jungler instead, like a Zac or a Sejuani. If you are looking to pick up a high damage AD jungler, I would highly recommend Renekton. He's super fun to dash around the map with, get to the enemies, land stun, and rip them apart. Let's go over Renekton's runes first. What I've been seeing and what I've been having the most personal success with so far with Renekton's runes would be taking Domination as my main tree and Precision as my secondary tree. Down the Domination tree, taking Electrocute is the keystone. It's going to give you the most burst. Predator isn't that useful, especially since Renekton's level 3 double buff gank is so strong and you need boots to use Predator. And overall, Dark Harvest isn't ideal on Renekton since Renekton needs more reliable burst, especially in the early and mid game. The next one you're going to be taking down the Domination tree is Sudden Impact. Sudden Impact is great. Whenever you use your dash, you're going to be getting a lot of extra lethality, putting out even more damage. Then Eyeball Collection, just extra damage once again. And Relentless Hunter. Renekton really does need Relentless Hunter. That way he can close the distance faster, get around the map. It helps him to get in position to use his E to chase down the enemy or cut them off. If Renekton doesn't have high movement speed, it's very easy for the enemies to get away before Renekton can get off a solid double dash. It can be very tempting to take Ravenous Hunter on Renekton jungle whenever you get in a team fight, especially with your ultimate and Q's AoE damage. It'll help you out quite a bit more in a team fight. It is really important for the early and mid game to have Relentless Hunter. It'll help get you around the map. Down the Precision tree, you want to take Alacrity. This is going to help you out with your clears, especially once you do get your team mat, which is going to be your first item. Alacrity is great. Extremely powerful sustained damage on Renekton, and then you're going to be taking Coup de Grace, which is also great damage for Renekton. It's more for bursting down a target once they're close to dead. Still very important. We're not going to take Cut Down because we're going to be building a few HP items. Overall, it's not going to be helping us out that much versus enemy tanks. And we're also going to be staying away from Last Stand since Renekton isn't particularly stronger whenever he does get lower on health. I highly recommend not straying away from this rune page. It's going to give you the most damage and burst that Renekton desperately needs to carry the early and mid game. Renekton's level order doesn't vary too much. There's really only 2 level orders he can even take. Level 1, start W, get a leash from your bot lane. The reason you start W is for the stun, and it also gives a little bit more damage than the Q. It'll help you take the first buff faster and take less damage since you'll stun it out of one of its auto attacks. At level 2, you're either going to take your Q or your E. If you get a leash from your red buff and you want to choose the enemy mid laner or bot laner, you'll take your E next at level 2 and go gank them with your double dash and your stun. If you don't want to do the cheese gank, or if you don't feel like the gank is possible, take your Q at level 2 and go to your wolves and then do your next buff for the level 3. Once you are level 3 with double buffs, that's when you'll normally gank as Renekton. On both level orders, you're always going to max Q first, E second, and W last. E will overall give you more damage and mobility, a lot more than you get from maxing W second, and of course taking points in your ultimate whenever you can, so at level 6, 11, and 16. For Renekton's starting items, you're always going to want to go for Hunter's Machete, Refillable Pot, and Warding Totem. The reason why you don't go for Hunter's Talisman is Renekton relies off of doing buff, wolves, buff. He doesn't do raptors in between those 3 camps. He tries to get level 3 as fast as possible with double buffs. So since you don't actually tap into the raptor camp, taking Talisman isn't worth it. Plus, Renekton doesn't gain from the mana regen aspect of the Talisman, so there's wasted stats going on here. All in all, Hunter's Machete is going to help you clear faster and have a little bit more HP while clearing on Renekton jungle. It would be really nice to go for a regen bead instead of going refillable potion. The problem is, since Renekton jungle isn't specifically designed for the jungle, he loses a little bit too much HP, so we have to go for that refillable potion. If we did get to go for the regen beat, it would help us get our team at a lot faster. Unfortunately, it's not possible. The first time you go back to base on Renekton, try not to before you have enough gold to get your team at. If you don't have enough gold to get your team at, it's a bit of a wasted back. You really need it for faster clears, stronger ganks, better 1v1s, team fights, etc. After you do have your team at, get your boots of speed and go straight for the black cleaver. Tier 2 boots can wait, especially since you should have a couple of stacks on your Relentless Hunter by now, which will give you some extra out of combat movement speed. Black cleaver is essential. It's going to give us a lot of tankiness, damage, and loads of CDR, which is great on a champion that doesn't require any mana cost and just has to worry about their cooldowns. After cleaver, you're going to want to pick up tier 2 boots as soon as you can. 9 times out of 10, you are going to be going for ninja tabbies. Renekton's fairly mobile, can dodge most CC with his E alone. If the enemy team does have a ridiculous amount of AP and CC, going for Merc Treads is also a good choice. After you have your tier 2 boots, go straight for Phantom Dancer. It's going to give you loads of damage, super fast attack speed, and amazing crits. It's gonna make your W absolutely bonkers. After Phantom Dancer, you should upgrade your jungle item into the Stalker's Blade or Skirmisher's Saber. If the enemy team is high damage, go for Skirmisher's Saber. If the enemy team is lower damage and you just need more movement speed, go for the Stalker's Blade. After you have your team at boots, black cleaver, Phantom Dancer, and your upgraded jungle item, your core should look something like this. Now you just need one more item to finish out your build. It becomes very optional at this point. If the enemy team has a good mix of AP and AD and you want more damage, go for Titanic Hydra. It's going to be doing a lot more for you than the Ravenous Hydra will. If the enemy team has a lot of AP, especially bursty AP or lots of CC ability power champions, go for a Maw of Mortius next. It'll help keep you alive in the fight, keep you from dying. If the enemy team is mostly AD but very bursty, go for a Guardian Angel. And if the enemy team has a lot of crits, loads of AD, 4 more AD champions on their team, Randuin's Omen. If you just want some more general movement speed and a little bit of tankiness, Deadman's Plate is a solid choice. And after you build one of these 5 items, you want to finish your jungle item. It might be tempting to finish it into Warriors or a Blood Razor. You don't want to do this though. Going for Cinderhulk will give you more bang for your buck, HP and tankiness. Since it is so late into the game, overall the tankiness and AoE damage that Cinderhulk provides will be more useful to you than building Warrior or Blood Razor. And this has been the best runes, level order, and build for Renekton Jungle. If you guys did enjoy this video and want to support the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. There's currently an RP giveaway going on at my Discord right now, $30 worth of RPs. Definitely head over to my Discord to enter. It's super easy to do. You'll figure it out within seconds. It's down in the description below. My name is KingStix. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah.